HLTH 340 Final Exam Newest 2026-2027 Actual Exam with complete questions and correct detailed answers verified answers. Question 1. PG 1. HLTH 340 Final Exam Newest 2026-2027 Actual Exam with complete questions and correct detailed answers, verified answers, already graded A+. Vavilov's premise on domestication was that it and that it actually happened in 8 main centers around the world for different food crops. Wasn't random. Wasn't random. Question 2. Zymology. Relevant to food production that incorporates specific known starter culture organisms. Relevant to food production that incorporates specific known starter culture organisms. Question 3. Mentha arvensis. Also a cultural keystone species. T/F. When available, humans prefer foods with the following qualities: dense, fat, fiber, and protein. F. Question 4. T/F. According to lecture, Struguru and Johns, most traditional peoples deliberately avoid eating any wild foods that taste bitter, pungent, astringent and sour. F. Question 5. PG 2. T/F. In cases of limited food options or crop failure, wild foods otherwise considered marginally edible are frequently consumed. T. Question 6. T/F. The tendency to eat substances other than normal food normal, being defined within specific cultural context, is known as pica behavior. T. Question 7. T/F. When determining whether or not something is edible, humans rely both on biological cues and cultural determinants in the decision-making process. T. Question 8. T/F. Allelochemicals are compounds that always harm organisms that ingest them. F. Question 9. The institutionalization of medical care includes all of the following developments except integration of folk biological knowledge with biomedicine, huge increase in number of hospitals, reduction of physician-patient interaction, medical practice taken out of the hands of lay people, integration of folk biological knowledge with biomedicine. Integration of folk biological knowledge with biomedicine. Question 10. PG 3. T/F. Many current diseases have a dietary basis. T. Question 11. Astringent compounds, example tannins and saponines, create bitter taste by astringent effects on the oral membrane and stimulation of the nerve. Trigeminal. Question 12. Ingesting all of the following are examples of pica behavior except hair, raw potatoes, coffee, clay, coffee. Question 13. T/F. Astringent compounds such as tannins elicit a sweet taste due to stimulation of the trigeminal nerve. F. Question 14. T/F. According to Johns, distaste for bitter substances is an innate human characteristic demonstrated even in newborn babies. T. Question 15. T/F. Insects, worms, and parasites are part of a normal human diet in some parts of the tropics. T. Question 16. T/F. foods are categorized the same way in almost all cultures. F. Question 17. PG 4. _____ exists when all people, at all times, have physical and economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food that meets their dietary needs and food preferences for an active and healthy life. Food security. Food security. Question 18. ______ is the right of people to healthy and culturally appropriate food, produced through ecologically sound and sustainable methods, and their right to define their own food and agriculture systems. Food sovereignty. Food sovereignty. Question 19. On Pantelleria, locals have devised a unique technique for growing grapevines in a water-limited environment. They dig conical terraces to plant the vines below the normal ground level. Dig conical terraces to plant the vines below the normal ground level. Question 20. Between 1964 and 2014, in Cama community of Italy, plant-based traditions related to hunting and fishing largely disappeared from local practice. True. False. True. Question 21. Between 1964 and 2014, in Cama community of Italy, traditions related to edible fungi have largely disappeared from local practice. True. False. False. Question 22. _____ are gathered from the wild across the island of Pantelleria, Italy. Their flower buds are fermented in a brine solution to create the final food product, which is sold on the global market as a food condiment. Capers. Capers.